Hello and welcome to another edition of Tutorial Tuesday. Today I'm going to be talking about Google Docs. I'm going to talk about some of the features that I didn't get to talk about in the first tutorial that I think are quite useful, and hopefully you will too. The first thing I'm going to talk about is Spell Checker. With the doc open that I created last time, I'm going to just make sure that it is turned on. It should be by default, but just to double check, you may click on Tools, Spelling and Grammar, and make sure that Show Spelling Suggestions has a check mark next to it. I'll now purposefully misspell a word. And you can see there is a red squiggly line underneath the word that I misspelled. If you will right click on it, it'll give you the best suggestion for what they think you tried to say. So I'll go ahead and click that and it changes it for me. However, there are times whenever you're going to be typing in some words that Google thinks is misspelled when actually it's not. It may just be something that it doesn't recognize, for instance, somebody's name. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and misspell this word again, and after I get the red squiggly line, I'll right click it and I'll hit Add this word to dictionary. And now every time I type this word out, it will not give me the red squiggly line. In the event that you accidentally added a word to your dictionary that you didn't mean to, or you just want to manage the words that you have in your dictionary, you may click Tools, Spelling and Grammar, and Personal Dictionary. And here will be the list of all the words that you have added. If, for instance, I needed to remove this word that I added accidentally, I'll click the trash can next to it to remove it. Or you can go ahead and add a new word here if you have several to do at once. Click OK to save your changes. The next feature I'd like to point out is called Version History, which points out periodically the changes you have made to your specific document. You may click on the link at the very top to let you know the last time that it was edited. Or you may click on File, Version History, see Version History. On the right hand side, you will see that periodically it will save your document and you can see the changes made in each one. I started off with a blank document here, and by the end I had added some text to it. This comes in handy if you know that you made some changes on a day in particular and you want to go back to that specific date to find out what you had done on that day. In the event that you want to restore a previous version, you can go down your list to the one that you want restored and click Restore This Version button at the top. Now I'd like to go over how to add certain items to your document. Something that's very common to do is to add images to your document, and there are several different ways to do this. If you click on Insert an Image, you see that you have multiple options here. If you upload from computer, it will then open up a browser where you can look up anything that's stored on your computer locally. If you hit Search the Web, you can simply type in something in the search box, and it's just as if you were going to do a Google search on the internet. Select that image and hit Insert. Your other options include inserting an image from your drive. If you had some pictures here, you can just select it from your drive. There's also your Google Photos option. If you know the specific web address of a picture, you may type it in here or paste it. And you also have the option to add a camera. If you have one plugged in to your computer, you may choose to allow your camera to be viewed on here. And then you may take a picture from that. Sometimes you want your document page to have multiple columns, like those found in magazine and newspaper articles. I'm going to go back to my home drive here, and I'm going to select a document that I had started before that I had copy and pasted. Once I click the format option, I then have columns, and you can choose 1, 2, or 3 here. I'll go ahead and see what those look like. And you also have the more options. Always remember that any changes you make can be easily undone by clicking the undo button. If you're looking for a specific word or phrase in your document and you don't want to skim through the whole thing to find it, the easiest thing to do is to hold down on your keyboard the buttons Control plus F at the same time. And this will bring up a window in the top right that will allow you to type in what you're looking for. Every instance that it finds, it will be highlighted. You can click the arrows to cycle through them. It may be a little hard to distinguish, but it does change from a light green to a darker green on the highlight every time you cycle through to the next word. If you have a word that you need changed throughout your entire document that you've typed out several times, the easiest way to do this is to use the Find and Replace. If you click the 3 dots within your Control F option here, you'll have the Find and Replace come up. Since I already have and search for, we'll keep that there. And let's pretend that I want to replace the word and with the word library. And you have options here. You can choose to replace just the one instance that it has found currently, or to replace all of them. If you just want to change this one instance, you may do so and then click Next and choose on a case-by-case basis what you want to do. I'll go and replace all just to show you what that looks like. And then I'll undo it. If there's a need to know how many words are in your document, you may click Tools and Word Count with a breakdown of pages and words and characters for you. You can even have the option to display your word count as you're typing, which can come in handy if you're doing a school paper that requires a specific amount of words. It's shown in the bottom left corner. And then of course you can go back into it, uncheck and OK to turn that off. If you have multiple pages to your document and want to make it look a little more professional, you may click on Insert, Page Numbers, and choose the best way that you think would look best for your document. I'll put mine in the top right corners. Of course, this is best used for the person that you're handing the document into or who is reading it, especially if you print it out. If you're just editing the document yourself and you don't necessarily need page numbers, you'll notice that as you hover your cursor over the scroll bar, you can see what page you are working on currently. If you're like me and you're not a very fast typer or very accurate, the speech-to-text tool is something I highly recommend you try out. I'll go to the bottom of my document. I will click on Tools, Voice Typing. If you have a microphone enabled on your computer, you click the microphone, hit Allow, and now from this point, it should convert everything from speech to text. Period. As you can see, it will also do punctuation marks. This is of course not 100% accurate, but it's a great way to reduce the amount of time if you are a slow typer or not very accurate. As you are talking and typing, you can do them both at the same time. And now I am talking again. Again, not perfect, but it allows you to go back and edit quickly and easily. When you're finished, simply click the microphone and close out. If you have the need to change your margins or the blank space in between the border and to where your text will be in the document, click File, Page Setup, and change the numbers to your liking. Click OK whenever you don't have internet access. For this, you will have to have Google Chrome browser. To start, in the Google Chrome browser, you will click on your three dots. We'll click on More Tools, Extensions, and you need to make sure that you have the Google Docs Offline installed and enabled. If not, you may click on Extensions, open the Chrome Web Store, and you can search for Google Docs Offline. Since I already have it installed, it doesn't show up for me in the store. To then enable this in Google Docs, you will need to click on the Docs Home button. Click on your three lines for the main menu, Settings, and toggle on the Offline option, and click OK. By default, Google will automatically enable the most recent documents that you have edited to be available offline. If there is an older document that you want available offline, find it, click the three dots in next to it, and make sure that the Available Offline option is toggled on, and you'll see a check mark with a circle around it. To simulate how this works without a network connection, you can still open your browser and go to docs.google.com. This page will load, and as you can see, these that are highlighted here, you can change and edit. These down here at the bottom too, they're grayed out. I cannot select them, but you can see that these that have a little bit bolder text, I can click on them to edit those. You can work on it. Once you're done, close out of it. It will save your changes automatically, and the next time that computer goes online, it will then reflect those changes to your Google Docs online. Sometimes you need your document saved as a different file type. I'll open this one as an example. If you click File, Download, you'll see you get several options to choose from. If you know somebody will be using this document in Microsoft Word, you can choose that option. And also PDF is a very popular format as well. Sometimes that's required. If you want the ability to work on a document without actually having to redo everything, you can make a copy of this document. If you click File, Make a Copy, I'll leave it to the default of naming it to Copy Of, click OK. You now have a replica of this document that you may tinker with without actually messing up or altering your original document. If you've created a document in another document editor such as Microsoft Word and it's saved on your computer, from your Google Docs homepage, you can click on the folder right here, select Upload, and you can either drag the file in to this dotted line area or select the box to bring up the browser for you. And here you will see your document that you can now edit. This is now just like any other Google Doc, where any changes you make to it are saved automatically. If you click back on to the Google Docs page, you will see that it is the most recent document listed. And last thing, if you need to share a document with somebody, the easiest thing to do is to open that up, click File, and Share. From there you can then enter in the email address and hit Done, and it will send them an email on how to view that document. Thanks for watching.